What has this sponge got to do with why you lose weight on a low carb diet? You're about to find out. Now I'm sure like many of you out there, you've heard the expression, no carbs before marbs. And I believe it was made popular for a TV programme called The Only Way is Essex. Thank God the only way isn't Essex. As factual, educating and amazing as Towie is, the whole no carbs before marbs is kind of stupid.
Chardonnay, what are you eating? Oh me, I'm eating spaghetti carbonara, ain't I? Chardonnay, you slag! You're not supposed to be eating carbonara, it's carbs, we're going marbs in 2 weeks. You're going to get fat and you're not going to be allowed into any of the cool pool parties, not to mention any of the 5,000 Instagram stories I'm going to be taking. Put that carbonara down! So what am I supposed to eat then, Tiffany? Literally anything else. You could eat absolutely everything and anything. But if you eat carbs, it's going to make you fat. And then we're not going to get into these cool pool parties, are we? Well, that's fine then. I'll just eat all the chicken and the bacon and leave the pasta.
So let's take a look at why to an extent this can be true, but also why it's not true as well. The important thing here is to differentiate between both weight loss and fat loss. Now, if you're about 3 or more stone overweight, then concentrating on both weight loss and fat loss is probably going to be beneficial for you, as your body is under a lot of stress through the weight that it bears. So to lose weight would really probably help you out. Now, if you're needing to lose a little less weight, then the pressure bearing on your joints and organs probably isn't as major. So really, you would just need to focus on fat loss and reducing the excess fat you want in order to look more toned. Let me explain further. See, weight loss doesn't necessarily equal fat loss. In fact, if we focus on losing weight, then there's a chance that you're losing water. And it's the water that we're focusing in on in this video, which is important to understand when going low carb. See, when you drop your carbohydrate intake, what will happen is that your body will lose water. The science goes for some of the carbs you consume are stored in the form of glycogen. For every 1 gram of carbohydrate stored in the body as glycogen, there is approximately 2 to 3 grams of retained water. So let's imagine this sponge is 1 gram of carbohydrate stored in the body. Immediately, there is 2 to 3 grams of water added to your body. Now, of course, the more carbohydrates you consume, the more of these sponges will be stored inside your liver and muscle tissues, ready to be utilised for energy. On the flip side, if we start cutting back on the carbohydrates, these sponges, aka glycogen molecules, aren't as abundant, meaning our weight starts to reduce as we burn off more and more of the excess carbohydrates we already consumed. Voila. So to put it simply, molecules of glycogen contain water, and therefore the more glycogen you store, aka the more carbohydrates you eat, the more water you retain in the process. This explains why when people restrict carbohydrates moving into a low carb or no carb diet, they lose weight quickly. They are depleting their glycogen stores, resulting in fluid loss, which equals weight loss on the scales. This is why going low carb isn't necessarily the answer to your prayers. Okay, you might be spurred on by the fact that the scale weight is coming down, but there's so much more to understand in the importance of fat loss instead of just weight loss. After all, losing weight just for a weekend in Marbella for the gram, trying to show the world how important you are and how amazing your life is, might be important to you, but in the long run, yo-yo dieting and not eating pizza is about as much fun as, well, going to Marbella with a bunch of influencers.
Oi, Tiffany, get me a Bacardi Breezer, you mug. What's that, love? Oh, me, looking slim? Oh, I know. I gave up carbonara.
So to summarise, if the scale weight is that important to you, then by all means reduce the carbs. But if you like living a normal life, eating pizza, pasta, bread and donuts, all without the added bonus of halitosis, then I suggest you keep carbs in your diet and just track the amount of calories you're eating instead. In fact, just do yourself a favour and do the latter. You're way more likely to stick to your diet, have more fun in the process, and not turn into a reality TV star who can't even spell the word Marbs. Yeah, what's that, Goose? Nah, no shots for me, mate. I've got a veneer appointment in an hour.